Hey everybody, Noah Karen here again with Adam Clark Fitness, and today I'm bringing you episode number 2 of my mini series on stress management. So today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, which is sleep. Sleep, and if you haven't caught it in some of the Wellness Wednesday episodes Adam and I used to talk about a few months back, this is a good recap for some of the information here. So sleep is very important, we know, for a lot of different reasons. You might notice if you don't get as good sleep that the next day you're feeling maybe a little more stressed. Your mood's not quite there. You get upset a little easier. That's sleep is very important for regulating mood, among many other things. So very important to get your sleep in. Not only a good duration of sleep, which tends to be 6 to 8 hours. Everybody's a little bit different, but also getting a nice deep sleep, so you're not waking up frequently. You don't have a lot of disruptions in the night. Best way to do that is set some boundaries with your sleep. Set a deadline when you're going to be going to bed. Make sure there's no distractions in the room, including phone, TVs, things like that can keep you up a little bit longer or wake you up in the middle of the night. That's step number 1, just setting those boundaries and making sure you can get through a deep night's sleep. So with sleep, we have a thing that helps regulate it called our circadian rhythm. And some things that help regulate this is cortisol, which is a hormone that's pumped through the body that kind of wakes us up and helps us. It actually is very closely linked with stress. With increases in stress, we have increases in cortisol, which can be a good thing. It actually helps regulate our sleep. In the morning, this is something that's very important. If you can, get out and view some sunlight directly, not through a glass or sunglasses. Watch the sun, especially while it's rising. What it does is the photons enter your eye at a certain angle and stimulates this cortisol response. It helps wake you up. You're going to feel a whole lot better in the morning if you can spend even just up to 5 minutes just watching the sunrise. I know in the winter that might be a little bit difficult, but something I do, I've done this multiple times, if I'm definitely feeling a little sleepy, on my drive to work, I'll roll down my window, as long as it's not storming or anything, and it'll be pretty chilly, especially in the winter here, but I get that sunlight coming in right in my eye, especially if the sun's rising on my driver's side here. Get some stimulation eyes, and it helps set your circadian rhythm. So later in the day, early in the day, you'll feel awake, you feel ready to go. But later in the day, you actually get an appropriate melatonin response, which kind of counteracts. It's kind of the opposite of cortisol in a lot of ways. Melatonin is very important for sleep. So, and another thing that's also helpful for getting appropriate amount of melatonin is watching the sun set. That same process happens. Our eyes can see the sun rising and the sun setting, and it helps just set that clock. So try best you can. I challenge you over the next week, watch the sunrise, watch it set. It's going to be very helpful for your sleep. You're going to feel like you're more awake in the morning and more tired at night, which is normal. And so if you don't get great sleep, something you can do are these protocols called NonSleep Deep Rest protocols, NSDR. And I won't go into much into depth, but if you're interested, I do a little Googling, and it comes up with these videos about 20 minutes long. All you do is you sit, you close your eyes. You don't even have to fall asleep to listen to these videos. They've actually been shown to be very helpful in kind of counteracting some of the negative effects of not getting a full night's sleep. Now, what I'm saying is don't mess up your sleep and just rely fully on these, but they're just a tool for you to use on the off chances we don't get a good night's sleep, because it does happen for everybody. One little note here I do want to say is with sleep, some people get high amounts of anxiety before going to bed and about sleep and have trouble falling asleep because of this. This response to not being able to sleep is actually hardwired from in our bodies from way back in our ancestors. When we were becoming humans, we would, before bed, we'd prepare. We'd get ready for our night's sleep. We were always worried of dangers and not having food and that sort of stuff. So we would tend to surround a campfire, eat our food or whatever it may be. We start getting ready for bed, but then we get this sudden spike in arousal. We'd feel awake, and that's when we would prepare our safety. We'd get our food. We get everything we needed by us for the night, and make our enclosure safe for wherever we may be. And then it would decrease the arousal, would decrease, and we'd be able to fall right asleep. So this still happens today, and it might be something that you've all experienced one time. You're getting tired, you're ready for bed, and then the second you lay into bed, you're not tired anymore. You're like, what the heck? And this is going back to that response. And I think the first step in helping with the sleep anxiety is understanding that this response is normal. And it's going to go away. So if you don't feel sleepy, don't stress about it. But also don't look at your phones. Don't do other things to keep you awake. Just, take some deep breath, practice a little mindfulness. That arousal state will go away and you'll fall right asleep, I promise. So I hope you took something away from the second episode here. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for episode number 3.